Peace. Well, I got here back with another banger, back with another exclusive video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're returning, go ahead and hit that like button so you can be notified, and the notification bell so you can be notified when we drop bangers like this one here today. Hope all is well, man. Today, I just want to talk about taking care of thyself. If we don't take care of ourselves, we're never going to, reach the pinnacles that we can reach, because we're never going to be efficient enough or feel good enough to achieve the things we need to achieve. I'm only saying this because today I had to really sit my daughter down and talk to her and tell her, like, you know, you got to stop doing certain stuff. I guess she has a food bug or food poisoning. I don't know. I just know every time I fed her something, she was throwing up. She had a little fever last night. I was giving her fruits. I gave her mangoes. I gave her apples. I gave her quinoa. I gave her everything was coming up. But then so I tell her, like, hey, you need to go on a liquid fast. You need to take some herbs, do some teas. Then once you get your food can hold down from there, then you need to eat straight fruits. You need to start eating so much noodles, so much ramen. You need to start eating so much McDonald's. All this stuff is bad for you. Like, hey, you're basically taking yourself out. And that's my daughter, so I can mold her. And I can go in the right direction, as I get free from the matrix and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, we all need to take that approach. Take that approach to that, hey, I need to get in the best physical condition that I can. Because one, that's the first step in, guiding yourself from that root chakra. When we get away from survival mode, where we're not feeling sick, where we're not feeling dis-ease or ill, we can begin to grow spiritually. When we start, investing in our body and getting more money so we can invest in our body, invest in our mind. LeBron James pays $1 million a year for his body, and he's playing basketball at 41 years old at a high level at that. So I just want to, just encourage people to just get out here and invest in some herbs, invest in walking, invest in working out, invest in a gym membership, invest in a dietitian, invest in eating organic, because if we look at everything that we're eating, a lot of stuff is not only just processed, but a lot of stuff is just lab made now, which, if you're okay with that, put it in your body, then hey, I'm not knocking you. But the same way that you can go and spend thousands of dollars a year on fast food, you can go buy $1,000, a whole cow for $1,000 and cut up meat and eat that. If you don't know, the best meat to eat is a cow. People say red meat is bad, but it's false. Red meat is the best meat to eat, especially for certain blood types, because it has 3 stomachs. It can process this food. A chicken only has 1 stomach, and it can't process this food. A lot of these chickens are lab made. A lot of this stuff is lab made, GMO. So we have to begin to really look at, what we're going to as a society. And I truly believe that we're going to move to more mushrooms. We're going to move into more organic. We're going to move into eating fresh fruits and vegetables. If you look at the Japanese or Chinese people, they live the longest. They're thin, they're wiry, but that's more healthy than being obese. It's way more healthy to be thin and wiry than to be obese. So make sure that you're drinking your gallon of water, spring water a day. Try to find some land with a well up there. Try to find different ways to just invest in ourselves, to try to become the best version of ourselves. I just want to get up here and encourage you that, hey, if you don't have anybody to help you with your food process, like your food programs or your workout programs, book me. Psycho Mode Training. The link will be in the description. I just want to try to help as many people as possible. I personally only eat plants for the most part, 99% plants. I might eat a little cheese. I might eat a tortilla or so, but most of my food is straight plants. And I mostly only drink water. I drink fresh juice, stuff like that, and I'm still not as sharp as I want to be. I want to get into having my juices made, my herbs in my cabinets and stuff like that, having my meal prep ready. But for the most part, I'm eating straight. I don't eat white rice no more, brown rice. I'm eating straight wild rice. Getting back into eating my quinoa and stuff like that, and I went from 140 to 190. So in a span of 6 or 7 months, and half that time I was eating straight raw food. I think 60 to 7 days before I got hit by a car on a fast, gaining weight, working out in the gym, getting stronger, and now I'm beginning to get my minerals and my nutrients. That's what we have to realize. Food is not about how good it tastes. It's about actually consuming what we need, and what we need is minerals, electrolytes, carbs, amino acids, fats. So these are things that we need to make sure. Vitamins, and we can consume these things not only by popping the pill, but also consuming food. And that's when we got to begin to look and do the research and everything that we need to do and really start. That's why I became a personal trainer. It's simply because I wanted to become the greatest athlete that I possibly could become. I started learning about how meat rewrites our genetic code, and how a lot of these these dyes and stuff are bad for the brain, and anxiety and depression. And just think about it. Like, sometimes when we go into depression or we eating glucose, you got these things, clog us up and begin to stop our digestive tract. They begin to stop our energy and realize that we're just energy. So our organs are just balls of energy. That's why they're able to create, endorphins and hormones and stuff like that, because they're organs. That's what they create. So it's important. But they're really, in the spiritual side, they're balls of energy. And it's important to release and clear up these cycles, these energies that's in our body, so our energy can flow in a flow state. And it's important to make sure that we consume the right things in order to do that. If not, we're going to begin to experience what we call disease. As, for example, my daughter, she's experiencing flu-like symptoms. She's having a slight fever. She's not feeling her best self. She's throwing up. Everything she's eating, she's throwing up. She threw up 3 to 4 times today. That's because she's in a state of acidosis. If you go and you check your pee, and you pee and then you dip that pee into a stick, if that pee is below a pH level stick, if that pee is below a 7, then you're in a state of acidosis. If that pee is above a 7, then you're in a state of alkaline. My pee was a 7.5 last time I checked. I haven't ate meat since last May, and I had crazy protein, had crazy carbs. The only thing I was lacking was iron, which is an important mineral. That's why I gotta start eating more green vegetables and eating more collard, like stuff that are green. That way I can get my iron up there. So a lot on the way. A lot of stuff is on the way for you guys, and not just food programs, but also products and organic products. The soaps that you use, you want to make sure we're using the right soaps. I buy African soap for $2, organic African soap for $2 at Walmart. Get into filters and basically just invest in ourselves, because in reality, this vessel is going to take us through life. And if we don't pour into ourselves, then our vessel will begin to fail us. And we can't get to that next level if our vessel is failing us. So start with that one set. Start with that one meal. Start with that one meditation session. Start with doing the hard stuff. If you're gonna go plant-based, make sure that you realize that it's gonna be a challenge, transitioning. But at the same time, if we replace the meats with our mushrooms, if we replace white and brown rice with wild rice and quinoa, and it's from amateurs, I think. If we start adding more green vegetables when we eat our meat, if we start eating more plants as far as organic apples, organic oranges, organic watermelons, organic grapes, these things are going to help us get and drinking enough water, starting to juice and eat more seeds and pumpkin seeds and stuff like that. Then we can really begin to put ourselves in a better position than if we keep repeating the same cycles, eating McDonald's, eating Chick-fil-A, eating out, not going on fast. Even if you eat trash, at least if you eat trash for a whole day, try to fast for that next 24 days, because that'll keep you healthier. If you don't eat for 24 days, realize that when we used to be hunters and gatherers, and we was killing animals to eat, when we was going through that tribal stage, we didn't eat every day. When we were Zulus, we didn't eat every day. We had to go hunt for the food. So if we got a kill, that kill might feed us for a week or half a week, but then the hunters have to go back out. So they'll come and bring the food down to the wives, and then they'll have to go back out. That means they're not eating every day because they're hunting, but at the same time, it takes longer for meats to digest inside your system. That's why I don't personally eat them, even though I can eat meat because I'm an old blood type. Learn yourself, learn your body, learn about your heritage, really look into the research. I just want to get out there just because, I'm concerned about my daughter. She's going to a doctor, and I truly don't believe in doctors, because I am a healer. I'm a biochemist. Speaking biochemistry to resistance. So I haven't got my own lab yet. I haven't studied biochemistry, but I know alchemy. So I know herbs. So learning herbs anymore. So just shout out Dr. Yaqui, shout out Dr. Sebi. They inspired me to go on this journey a while ago. So I just want to get up here and say that. So as always, pushing divine love, peace, and harmony on all. Peace.